project related site value. So if you've got the international version, you can skip this video totally, because this is something that is used in Australia more than any other country. It's because of the way GST is calculated and deducted from the sale value, and there are certain calculations for land value as well. So if you're from Australia, then you must watch this video, because you need to understand what this is. So anytime you get a project and you want to get a valuation done on the project, which whether you get it done or your lender forces you to go and hire a commercial value to do this valuation, this is what you'll get back from them. You will get a project related site value from them, and they use the exact same method that I have used in this add-on, and there's no difference in that. The only thing is that their assumptions may be different than what your assumptions have been in this feasibility, and that is why it is important that you understand what this would actually do to your loan to value ratio. Your loan to value ratio can be determined based on, well, it may be the same, but your end value that you get from the project could vary. And if your lender determines this value to be a lot less than what it is over here, what's going to happen is that they will lend you less money, because that's the valuation they will go with. So what you need to do is understand, and you do this calculation at your end, so that you understand what you'll be able to borrow from them. So in this scenario, you don't really need to do anything. This is just a report. And if this has come out to be a favorable valuation, which in this case it has, I recommend that you take out a PDF. You can actually print them. You press the Command P or Control P on Windows, and it is already set up so that you can actually just convert that to a PDF. So make sure you do that, and include that with your feasibility to show to them. Now your lender will challenge that and dispute what you've come up with, and because they will only agree to what a valuer says. And just because you're not a valuer, you will not be listened to. Welcome to Australia. So you got to have these credentials so that they can value what you're saying. So even if you're right, so this is there so that you are aware of what that valuation would come out to be. And what this basically does is it takes off the GST values from your total realization value of your project. It takes out the GST component completely, and then deducts all these values to arrive at the project related site value. So you must understand what it is. And if you're doing your first project, and if it's more than 3-4 townhouses, then it falls under a commercial project. You will find that your lender will ask you to go and get a commercial valuation, which is about $4,500-$5,000. And once you've got that, you can actually then compare your report with the assumptions that they've come up with, and you can challenge it. And the reason I was able to put this together was because one of my 12 townhouse developments, I actually challenged this report that I had received from the lender. The bank that I was using was National Australia Bank, and they had one of the lenders on their panel. I won't name the lender, but I challenged their valuation. And what I challenged was this percentage that they had used over here. And this percentage would never be over the top. For a project that's already got a permit, this could be anywhere between 12% to 20%, and in very less scenarios, if the project is massive, it could go more than 20% because of the size of the project. But that's where this is their main details, and you actually enter these details in your dashboard right here, where entrepreneurial risk margin, and you can change that. And if you press the update values after that, it'll then go and update these values based on the percentage that you've selected from your dashboard. So once you've done that, just make sure that when you compare your valuation with the valuation that you receive from your commercial valuer, that these are not that off. So you need to question them. What did you allow for legal costs, or what did you allow for other miscellaneous costs and so on, so that you can get a more favorable valuation. And the best part is to actually find out which lender is on the panel of your which valuer is actually on the panel of your lender, and then approach them directly, so that it's that they are not really engaged by your lender, they're actually engaged by you. Get the valuation directly, so that because they are working for you, once they're working for you, they are more inclined to come up with a better valuation than if they are working with the bank. Once you get that valuation, then get them to actually assign that valuation to your bank or your lender, so that you get a better valuation that you would normally get. Now, there is no hard and fast rule whether or not that valuation would change, but I would assume that because you are the client to the for the valuer, you are more preferred than anybody else. And later on, the same valuation, if it's happened within the last 30 days or so, can be assigned to your lender. So yeah, there might be a little bit of extra cost for them to do the paperwork for it. And once that is done, make sure you compare each of these costs that you've allowed and what they've allowed, to be able to challenge and ask them, how did you come up with these numbers, or on what basis did you allow 86 grand on your valuation? Now, if they say, oh, that's what the normal interest rate is that you pay to your agent, you say, no, I have already allocated an agent, and that's the number that they are going to charge me. So then you can actually get them to revise these valuations so that you get a more favorable number for your project related site value.